So I got a little something over here from my buddy Noah. It was his birthday a couple days ago. I think actually yesterday. But regardless, I got him a little cookie. Come in! Oh! My bad. Happy birthday! What is that? It's a little present. Thank you, man. You're worst, dude. Oh, yeah, dude, I got the hats and shit. Fucking hey. Dude, what's up? I'm just kidding. You're Julio. I would like if you guys could introduce yourselves first, if that's okay, before we start the questions. So we can start with whichever way. We can start with Noah.
All right. My name's Noah.
His birthday boy.
It's my birthday today. Noah Reject is my stage name. My pronouns are him, he, and you.
Okay.
I don't say them that often, so we decided we were going to do that today so that we don't have any confusion. I've been in Dredge and then Born Below, and then now my current project with these guys, anMech.
I was pointing at this because I don't know.
The Dredge. I got a bunch of Born Below shirts I'm stuck with if you want to buy one of those.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
If I get, please do. I got
one of those to your shows.
Yeah.
I'm Annie Noise. I use its pronouns, and I do pretty much everything that isn't vocals, and some vocals.
And some yeah, good vocals.
I'm Chris. I don't have a cool nickname
Yet.
Pronouns are he, him, and I am. Am I the lead vocalist at this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I do that, and I write stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So, with that, I want to go straight ahead and say I am a huge fan of industrial. What are your influences? First of all, I want to know.
For me, it's been like from the old school shit, like Skinny Puppy, Ministry. But one of my favorite industrial bands is Bile. If you've ever heard of Bile.
Bile. I think you showed me that.
I fucking love Bile. And when I first heard them was in like 1994 in the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, they had a song on there called I Reject. I got that CD and I was like, who's this Bile? And I got that fucking CD and it came in a neon green case. And it's just 8 tracks and they don't even have spaces in them. It's all one song. It's fucking dead. It's tough. Yeah, they're awesome. They've been still putting out albums, but they're not as great as they were back then. So. Yep.
My main influence is really the Birthday Massacre. I mean, like, I've been listening to them since I was like 13, I think. 12, 13, somewhere around there. But I mean, I listen to a lot of different things, so I get influences from everywhere. Lately it's been some more recent like metalcore and deathcore artists like Spirit Box and Carcosa.
Okay.
And every band, and I just realized every band I named is from Canada. So, I mean,
We love Canadians.
I think it's very impressive how people can remember band names. I suck at that. All right, Chris.
Let's see. I don't know. My influences change all the time. Right now, I'm listening to a ton of Sleep Token. It's probably like my all-time favorite band at this point. And then Hozier. He's like singer-songwriter-y, bluesy. I just like emotive shit.
Tight. I pulled some lyrics from Forget Me. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
It captivated me on a personal level. I'll quote it if that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep hurting you until you see that I'm no good. There's no other way for me to let go of the thread that keeps me bound to you, so I'm pushing you away. The idea of being in a toxic relationship has plagued me for decades. I went through them. Many of them, I was doing the damage myself and not even knowing. So I wanted to just kind of see what you thought about that. Because for me, that's the beauty of music, just getting your own take from the lyrics and just kind of sitting there and going, wow.
Sure.
You know?
And he wrote those lyrics for that song.
Yeah.
I love those lyrics.
I wrote, Chris wrote most of the lyrics for that song, but I wrote the parts for that intro.
I didn't even know that. I found that out today.
We were originally trying to do like this whole lore thing with like an AI, and like it didn't work out, but like
It was a cool idea.
It was a cool
It was
idea,
an experimental
but it was
idea.
just like, so that's me singing that,
Yeah.
just heavily processed. But no, that I had an experience of basically like I had a huge change in my life, and I was at really low points, and I found that like all of the guilt that I was feeling with like everything I've been through, everything I've done, and everything I've been through, and like all of that was really like it caused me to like lash out at people and like push them away, but at the same time, like the thread is like that, like I need those people in my life. I care about those people, and like I was like trying to push them away, but at the same time trying to keep them around. So it was, but like, and like that song, I mean, we can't really talk about some of what that song is about on YouTube because that, but
Politics?
So I
No.
do the same thing to my family members, like or anybody that I really love. They're like, why do you do this? Why do you act like this? Why do you treat me like I'm your enemy? I'm like, I'm not. I'm just kind of fucking with you because you're my friend and I love you. But like, dude, you're being kind of an asshole. Like, you know, it made me kind of self-reflect. So that's kind of like what I felt.
Yeah.
Was, you know,
yeah, no, it's
very good lyrics because that meant a lot to me.
Yeah, it was cool. When I joined this band, almost all the tracks, music were done. So me and Chris, it's like a ticket. You get this one, and so like each song, and then when you know, one would bring us the other version of it, then we kind of work with it and stuff. But yeah, there's like 5 tracks that I wrote lyrics for, 5 that he wrote for, and then you know Annie put up her parts in there and stuff. So it's pretty collaborative. We're gonna try to be more collaborative, like writing together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It started out as a solo project. It actually didn't even start out as like industrial metal. It started out as breakcore, which is like if you take jungle and put it on cocaine, right?
So did you two start the band?
No, I started it.
You started it.
Yeah, and this band goes
my
back.
gosh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it started
Brilliant,
what, like
brilliant.
2011 or something?
Something like I started in like 2011.
But not this version.
I used so many different names over the period, but anMech has been like I had a period where I was going by like 4 different names to try and differentiate between different projects, and then eventually I just brought everything into anMech, and then eventually I got tired of making like harsh electronic music and wanted to start making metal because that's kind of what I like, metal and rock and punk and industrial, that kind of stuff. Even pop, like I would even like, you know, I would love to do a pop project with someone, but
That'd be fun.
like
Yeah.
definitely if I could make a hyper pop thing, that would be fucking awesome.
Did you ever check out the Crow soundtrack?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I love that soundtrack. That's the soundtrack that got me into industrial a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I watched The Crow after reading the comic.
Ooh,
yeah, and
and-
quite different. Yeah.
Very different, and like people are always like, "Oh, The Crow's such a great movie," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's kinda
If you
sappy.
take it in isolation,
Yes.
the comic is way better.
Yeah, I'm a
Because
truist too. I like the Dark Tower.
It's
series.
not so much about
There we go.
truist, but the beginning of The Crow, like in the movie, it's like this whole supernatural thing where he comes out of the grave to get revenge, and it's like, okay, why didn't you bring the chick back then?
I'm nervous about the fingers.
What about her?
I'm
Like,
afraid
why
I'll get
didn't you
stuck
bring
in
the
those.
chick back? She's the one who got hurt the most. She got like she's the one who got hurt the most. He was forced to watch.
Didn't he get shot in the head?
Yeah, he got shot in the head.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the comic, he survived.
Yes.
And it's implied that he starts hallucinating, and it's a whole revenge thing where there isn't really much supernatural other than like his ability to, other than like his invulnerability to damage, basically.
Right. I just think Brandon Lee was incredible.
Oh yeah, no, and that's it. It's
Yeah.
a shame that he died
It
during
is,
the shooting of
definitely.
that.
Really quick, where'd you guys go?
I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, out in a small town out there, and basically my parents were split real early on, like 6 months I was like alive, and my mom was just sick of the desert, so came up here to Washington.
Okay.
I'm kind of a loner out here too. All that family over there, I really don't have any contact with. So.
Similar-ish with my Cuban side.
Yeah, they can all.
And they live literally here.
Where are you guys from?
I grew up in Bellevue.
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 Nice.
Nice.
Does I have to admit it?
Should have made some up.
Yeah. No, I've lived in Seattle area my entire life, so.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly grew up in Seattle. I moved a couple times before that, but I mean, if you're in one place since you're 10, I'm gonna say. But
My
like,
hometown.
Yeah. Then I'm Seattle.
but like, I mostly grew up on the internet, though.
Oh yeah, Seattle, Washington.
Everyone's Snohomish.
like I mostly spent time on the internet. Like,
I told you I graduated from Everett.
Yeah.
Everett High. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, and then moved to Seattle.
I was born in Florida and moved up here. Isn't that weird? Like, right across.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who did that.
Floridians.
It's weird.
There's a reason why I asked that. So, the environment come into play when it came to your influences, like
Oh,
your
yeah.
music,
Oh yeah.
and that can be local bands or local influences, whatever your environment kind of.
Sure.
Sure, I know it's a big question.
Yeah, I mean, I got a soft spot for a couple of the like Seattle bands, specifically like Soundgarden and Alice in Chains. I love them.
Nirvana was my first concert ever. Yeah. But I saw him in Arizona. So right before he killed himself. Yep.
Yeah, and then I was raised Christian, so I got into metalcore.
Shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, my internet usage probably affected my taste in music. I mean, like I found out about the website My Pet Skeleton, and then from there, like, and that has ties to the band Johnny Hollow, and he's done, and the artist behind My Pet Skeleton has done art for so many different bands that I listen to. The Birthday Massacre, Mankind is Obsolete, Johnny Hollow, Jackalope, just and he did this whole thing. He did this thing where there used to be a record label based in Toronto called Orange Records. That he did this thing to try and like celebrate. He did this thing with them to celebrate in the indie music in Canadian indie music, and he did this whole thing. There was like this website where they had like these scarecrow designs that he did, and each one was tied to one of the artists, and that's how I found out about the Birthday Massacre. So I'm gonna say, yeah, my internet usage really, and then eventually, like later, like different fan communities led me to various electronic genres, including one of the fan communities led me to breakcore, and eventually to the website I Hate Breakcore, which was like this forum, and that
To talk shit.
no, it was I Hate Breakcore, but the logo had like a heart with hate on it. so it was a breakcore discussion. That's where a lot of my skills with electronic music come from, with like sound design, and it's learning from people on there.
That's awesome. This kind of reminds me of a question that I actually forgot to write down.
Tight.
Streaming services. So I know it's super saturated, the music industry, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, at least it's the free-for-all idea is kind of nice because it gives us the opportunity. It gives the audience the opportunity to kind of choose what they like. Instead of like, excuse my language, but kiss ass in order to get your music played.
Oh, you still have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
You still, yeah.
Yeah.
You're on your knees.
I mean, here's the thing about that. Like, the audience does decide what's popular,
But what they're subjected to.
But there's still, radio still affects the audience.
Yeah.
What you hear in movies, television, what the algorithm ends up giving you. Like, it's like, I'm still given on YouTube. I'm still given like advertisements for like artists that I know I would never listen to. Right? Like,
sometimes you get some cool shit.
Sometimes you get some cool shit. Like, I got recommended 100 gecs through the YouTube algorithm. Like, that's how I found out about them.
There's a lot of erectile dysfunction ads lately. I'm like,
It must be hearing you.
When you look at the calendar, how old am I?
what's going on here?
Motor jams!
Are you reading my mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, but No, I think that streaming. I think streaming is like it's a great way to find out about things, but it's not much better than the old way. Like it's like
There's a
still
special.
have to-
It's like the Kodak picture, you know.
like
Like when you take pictures of everything, they're less special, right? It's like, oh, there's a picture.
Yeah.
Cool. But before it was like, oh my gosh, I was able to capture this moment. Similar idea, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like there's benefits on both sides. There's no like perfect way of doing things.
yeah, no, you like in order to stand out, you like these days. In order to stand out, you basically have to be a social media influencer as well. Like
Like a mini mobile, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta do like unless you can afford to, you gotta do your own advertising. You gotta do your own everything, right?
There's
Like,
a lot of burnout with that
it's,
too.
and it's way more. And because of how fast things move, you have to post like every day, or else
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
lost.
does it really work? I mean, maybe.
I'll be honest. Like I don't put out a lot of things, right? Like all the time because of that. I feel like that gets tiring for people. So
Yeah.
instead, I just
Definitely.
like I push things here and there
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
spots and
Yeah.
opportunities, and it kind of works. And,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But it's tough when you're in a band because you want to like get as much audience as you can, and it's kind of like a business, right? And you want to
Right.
promote, and there's so much promotion around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, even
We
for us.
haven't figured it out yet either. So
yeah.
when you figure it out, let us know.
I am working on it.
Noah's the best at it.
It's a
I'm the
learning curve.
best.
Yeah, I actually what I've done is I've just seen what other spec do, and I kind of like I don't copy their shit, but I'm like the way
You
they
take notes.
Yeah, I take
I
notes.
agree.
Like
That's
so,
what I do.
and like one of the bands we just played with is doing it right now and killing it. Like teach me, real humble. Like teach me.
Yeah, right.
Can I ask?
Fake hands.
Oh, yeah.
fake hands.
We're gonna get them down here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I've seen what other bands do, and I've tried to do it myself, but I have severe ADHD, so I just forgot to.
Yeah. It's like
so this is a heavy question, okay?
Okay.
So because we were talking about a venue that's kind of getting a lot of
Oh.
hate lately, but it's
Mhm.
not concerning that venue. It's
Yes.
just the overall. Everything's so politicized, right? So with the pandemic, how did you navigate through all the hardships we encountered within the music scene? How did it affect you? Or there were movements to get venues shut down over some things that were said and done. And I'm curious to see your views and experiences concerning the division. Canceling venues. I don't believe in that.
I think
Unless there's some severe things happening.
Yeah, I mean it's a little hit or miss. There's some things that I have heard that are very serious,
But they're
And
like
yeah,
hearsay.
this venue
It's
should
still
not-
hearsay.
Yeah.
Well, right. I mean, I hear things like second, third hand.
hmm
So
Yeah. And I'm really particular about people like trying to recruit me to get on their crusade.
Exactly.
And so
I
I
love you. That's why I love you.
yeah, I mean, and with my other bands too. I mean, that particular incident with that venue, we were supposed to play that day that this happened.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was just like we're cursed. We're fucking cursed. And we got to a
You're
point.
sending a statement if you play.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, so like one of the other bands goes, "Hey, did you hear?" And I go, "What?" And then they're like, "You should get off it right now." And I go, "Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go contact them myself and talk to them, and then I'll get back to you. Like, I'm not just gonna jump off it, you know." But they were like, "Well, no, if you don't, like, people are gonna start saying this about you." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I was like,
Let you know,
Yeah.
I'm kind of an ass. You know, I'm like, yeah, let them talk shit about me.
"Yeah,
This is about my music ultimately.
We-
Yeah, this place sucks.
we
But
didn't."
I'm not playing because of an agenda, right?
Yeah.
So there's that aspect to think about, but at the same time, you are kind of risking a lot.
Yeah. I've always approached music that I don't want to put religious views or politics or any of like my other beliefs in it. I want it to be art.
You wrote the line. There is no God.
No, I didn't. It got changed.
Yeah, you wrote it as there is no God. And
It rhymed.
I'm offended.
And we changed it to I am your God.
Which is worse.
Whoa, I like that one.
No, I think that this song, the line I wrote was like, it was like this rappy thing. And it was like, around these, I can't remember exactly the first time I was like, I'll teach you around I'm the law around here or something.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and
The
then
end of it is, I'll prove to you there is no God.
I'll prove to you there is no God.
Yeah,
And then you changed it to I am your God.
yeah,
And I was
because
like,
I think that was a
brutal.
good decision. think that was
It's
a good
more-
decision.
Well, we don't
Like,
play it
sounds
anymore.
more-
so-
Yeah, we don't play live
Yeah,
right now.
we don't play it live right now.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will state on the record, I am an atheist. Okay, but I've only lightly touched upon that on my own artistic adventures, right? So I actually respect bands that do, because there's so many Christian bands. Why not?
Yeah.
Why
Sure.
can't there be a balance?
Yeah.
But to label yourself, I am a Christian band, in my opinion, kind of isolates people. You
Yeah.
know, it's like we're a
Yeah.
Christian band. We're not going to allow atheists to
Yeah.
listen to
I
our
mean,
stuff.
you-
or-
I just realized we have the whole gamut of like God belief, atheist, monotheist, polytheist.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's why it works
amazing.
so
And
well,
all working together.
Yeah.
for-
cohesively in this
Yeah.
machine.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
I really admire that.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
I mean, like, so with going back to the question, like pandemic was poorly handled by the U.S. government. So
Oh, yeah.
it's like if venues were like, I get venues for venting their frustration. It's a stupid idea to do it in such a public way, but like at the same time, like, right, you call it out, see if there's a change in behavior. If there isn't, then yeah, if someone does something shitty, call it out and see if there's a change in behavior. And if there isn't, then that's not someone that's not someone I want to associate with.
Yeah, and to really quickly to end this question, I think that saying sorry isn't enough for people anymore. I feel like sorry doesn't get you anywhere, and it's like there's nothing else you can really do. Hey, I said sorry,
Yeah.
or people bringing things up from 10 years ago.
That's
That's the one that
is-
Like,
yeah,
hey,
like-
are you the same person you were 10 years ago? If so, I'm sorry.
Right. No,
Yeah.
on the apologizing thing though, there's been so many empty apologies that it doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything.
Yeah, no, an apology, like, even before that, like, an apology doesn't mean anything if you don't work to correct the harm you've done. Like,
Sorry.
So sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's an element to it where it's like at the end of the day, we are a new band and no one knows who we are, so we kind of got to take what we can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna know who you are now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, all this happened before I was doing live stuff. Like, my first time playing live was literally last year. Like, ever.
I started a band in the pandemic, and that
I
was
don't wanna-
fucking horrible.
I don't want to brown nose you guys too much, but seeing you guys live, right?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that at all. So that's good, right?
Yeah,
That's good.
you know.
Yeah.
There's no way of knowing. that that's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to a lot of shows, so
I feel comfortable in that environment, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't even need that anymore. So,
Bro.
I want the people to know what you got planned for the future. Any shows coming up?
Yeah,
Something
so
like that?
I do a lot of the booking for us. We have 6 confirmed shows. There's a couple festivals that are kind of like in California that they're still reviewing us if they want to. Yeah, that would be sick. But yeah, we're doing a show every weekend almost. It's filling up, and we're just making more connections with bands. For me, it's a wholly different genre. So like the whole punk scene that I was a part of in the hardcore, it's really hard to kind of move this kind of sound through their connections and stuff. Yeah, they're like, and because when I asked them,
Try the metal scene.
well, yeah, I mean even them too. So it's like, are we booking a bill that's like a talent show?
I mean,
where it's different band style?
I mean, even within the metal scene, like, you go for you've got like
It's harder.
with the stuff that Noah was doing in Born Below. It was like the thrash scene loved them, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they embraced us.
So but the
Didn't
thrash,
know it was gonna happen.
But a lot of the fan base of thrash really doesn't like the kind of stuff we do. Where,
Yeah,
like
they say they do,
they say they do,
but they don't.
But we have a lot of metalcore influence, which gets a lot. The core suffix is used as an insult in a lot of metal scenes that
Well,
aren't.
Yeah,
everyone knows metalcore's basic.
I think Annie and Chris were just Annie made up the term for us, VHS core, which is even more confusing.
Yeah.
So I stopped using it. I just say we're kind of like
Yeah, no.
industrial metalcore synth. It's like all over the place. We don't want to be boring. So
Something that I wanted to highlight was I started booking like 12 years ago, right? On the philosophy that the music scene is one scene.
mhm.
It's right? But we're so tribalistic.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So all these subgenres get split up, and they're like, oh, you're a part of our group. You're a part of. It's like, why don't we just all just chill out and work together and support each other?
Mhm.
Right? It's not
Yeah.
that hard, you know.
Well, they say they do that, but they don't really do that.
Yeah, like
We're tribal by nature. It's in our DNA. Humanity.
But it's kind of cool. We're actually these shows. We're getting paired up with some really cool, like even bigger industrial bands. Like one's coming from LA, like Luna 13. That was really cool for us to get asked open for that.
Judging from the music, it's only a matter of time. And I did also say Germany would be a tight place to go
Yeah.
to.
Oh, yeah,
visit
sure.
and
Love
play.
Julio.
They would love music.
I have a German last name, but
blonde
I'm
hair,
Russian.
blue eyes.
There we go.
They would love him.
Just come slowing down from a cloud.
No, but like, yeah, no, I mean, I would love to tour. I would love to go. I would love to do an international tour, but that's a thing that like
We also
gotta work up to it.
we want more
haven't even done a
members.
That is true.
We
We
want
haven't
more
even done a
members.
West Coast tour yet. Like,
Just go ahead and go to Europe. And
yeah, just go to Europe.
Get some steps. Go to venues. You didn't hear we're supposed to play tonight.
But we're still kind of a new band that we want to add a drummer. We want to maybe add a keyboardist. You know, who knows? We're maybe thinking about a lead guitarist too. So it just keeps getting bigger.
No third vocalist.
Well, it would be a fourth vocalist now. So.
Oh, fourth. Right. Sorry.
I mean, I'm probably not going to do as much vocals in the future.
The exchange is so cool though. The fact that there's the religious difference thing, it makes so much sense within the music to have those a triad. You know, like changing it up.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Like,
Like they're arguing against each other.
We're arguing gods.
No God, yes God, maybe.
I mean, that's a funny thing. We agree on a lot more than we disagree with.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even though we have...
We're also very respectful to each other too. I
Yeah.
would say about that shit.
It's incredible.
I'm not like shut the fuck up.
You guys are a true example for real. I'm so honored to know you guys. And seriously, thank you so much for being on this podcast.
Fuck yeah.
Especially, it's your birthday.
Well, it was Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
you know, whatever. You know.
Birthdays don't mean shit.
In my culture, we celebrate for the whole week.
Yeah.
All month.
No.
I want your culture.
All right.
Thanks,
So
man.
with that, thank you.
Thanks,
And We'll
guys.
see you guys soon.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man.
That was great.